want to take a moment to look at the size difference in our heads right now.
What's the difference in our heads?
Dude, look how far mine's extended compared to yours.
How am I supposed to see how far mine is extended? Our heads? How long have you been thinking about this?
Since the very first podcast, I was like, damn.
How do you know how far yours are?
Because they're extended the furthest they can go.
So if your head was a millimeter bigger, they would just snap.
Yeah.
You trying to get well, you have to extend them farther than they are to be able to get them.
No, but see, you're even wearing a hat, and it's not even extended to the full capabilities. And I'm just over here rocking just a melon.
I can't deny it. It's pretty fucking big.
This hair too, man. It's like a. Yeah, I don't know.
I know. Our first podcast, you had like short hair.
I
you
know.
Just got a fresh cut,
dude. I need to go back get a fade.
Nah, just let it go.
Nah.
You had long hair for a second. Dude. I never saw you with your long hair. How long was it?
It was. It wasn't like extremely long compared to what like a normal Drew Barry head would look. Set of hair would look like.
Oh yeah.
It was probably like that much longer. I started getting those like curls that I would get back in elementary school though.
Did you have the Bieber fever going across?
Yeah, dude. Had it. Had to flip it.
Yeah.
Everything.
It got long enough to where you didn't even need your hand.
Exactly. It was just.
What? What are you doing?
I need to get a fresh beard. I don't want to do it on camera.
I can cut it out.
Oh. I didn't want to get copyrighted. I was actually trying to test it just in case we're in the middle of and I needed a switch.
That particular company doesn't want their spokespeople to have huge fucking heads.
Like we only deal with irregular ass heads.
Yeah. You're rocking a fucking watermelon up top. We don't want none of that. We don't want any part of that.
Yeah, I know. Hey.
Welcome back to Motion Picture Dogfight.
This is the podcast where we debate our favorite movies, characters, and TV shows.
On today's episode, 21 Jump Street versus the other guys. I'm 21 Jump Street.
I'm Team Other Guys, obviously, the better movie.
I don't know about that one. Actually, I know for a fact about that you are incorrect.
Even though you hesitated a little bit, makes me think you have some.
It was more of a hesitation, not because I was trying to figure out if you were right or wrong. I knew you were wrong from the jump.
No,
I knew you were wrong from the get-go.
It's like you heard it for the first time. And you're like, oh, man, this is 21 Jump Street really is the worst movie.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yeah. No, It was more of like me hesitating to try and figure out how to like ease you into this like just demolition you're about to receive. Because the other guys, good movie. It's a good movie. It really is. Will Ferrell, Mark Wahlberg, can't go wrong with
icons.
They are icons. They definitely are icons. But not every icon in a movie makes that movie iconic. And let me tell you something, brother. The other guys, great movie, not iconic. 21 Jump Street, I wouldn't go as far to say it's iconic, but it's definitely more on the way to being iconic than the other guys is.
I wouldn't necessarily say because it's a remake from an older movie.
An older show.
Or show.
Get your facts straight.
Oh,
you
sorry.
Mother. No, but
older show.
You have Channing Tatum, and before this, Channing Tatum was like in Step Up and like that, where he wasn't really a comedy character. And so it was one of those things of like, going into this, you didn't know how it was going to go. Obviously, you have Jonah Hill, which is a comedic superstar and everything, but you didn't know how Channing Tatum was going to handle it. And dude, he just blew everybody away with how good his like delivery and everything was.
I mean, I wouldn't say blew, because you could tell that some of that was hard for him.
But that was his, I think more of that was his character, he was like the dumb jock, and he was supposed to be like constantly not overthinking, but like working hard to think of the most simple task and stuff like that. So if anything, I think that you thinking that it was hard for him was more of a like kudos to you, Mr. Tatum.
I don't think because like whenever you look at Jonah Hill, how he would deliver a joke or deliver a line, it seemed like for Channing Tatum, it was like whenever he said it, it was like, man, I don't know if I really believe that punchline. I like.
It's the same with Mark Wahlberg.
No, Mark
Wahlberg had dude. There's parts in the other guys of Mark Wahlberg that I just like cringe. Like you just kind of like take a step back because
what part?
I can't remember specifically like what parts and everything, but sometimes there you can just tell that he's just a little bit at that point in time. Like you take a movie like Ted, masterpiece type of thing, master comedy. But this was before Ted, and so it was kind of him stepping into the realm of comedy a little bit, and so it was like more of a. He did a good job, but there was definitely points where it was like that was not great.
I would have to just a lot of the lines in the other guys. It's one of those movies that is just naturally funny without having to write in a lot of funny stuff. Like a lot, and what I mean by like The Office. The Office is an extreme comedy.
You don't think they wrote The Office?
No. What I mean by that is like. You don't have to necessarily write jokes for it to be funny.
What the f- are you talking
Well, like whenever he's saying like I'm a peacock, you gotta let me fly.
Yeah, you don't think they wrote that? You think he just came up with that?
I'm not saying like in 21 Jump Street, to me, it sounds like I can hear the people in the background that wrote this like, I'm going to write this way.
So you're saying they did a better job about making it seem like it was improv rather than...
Yeah, or like written.
But
you know what I mean?
Also, I can kind of see that just because Will Ferrell is...
icon.
One of the best comedic actors. He's been doing it for God knows how long.
Yeah.
And he knows how to do it. And so some of that is just naturally going to start brushing off onto the other people around him and everything like that.
I want to say I know it's not out there as one of Will Ferrell's best movies or whatever, but I would say that movie is one of my favorite movies of his just because of how like the comedy in it, how he did just everything.
Yeah. I mean, it's good. It is good, but it's also a little hectic. It's a little, you're running around to all these different, places and everything like that. Like whenever I specifically remember, not the first time that I watched it, but the most recent time that I watched it, I like looked down at my phone for a second, and then they were at a laundromat and they were walking up to it and it blew up.
Yeah.
And I was so lost for a second because I had no idea why they were at the fucking laundromat. Because it just didn't develop naturally. Like 21 Jump Street, like, yeah, you're kind of having, just like any other movie, you're pushing the story and the plot, forward with your characters and everything like that. But there's points in the other guys where it's like, I don't know how we got here without, the only explanation is just like, they just had to get there. And so they just did whatever they had to do to get there. But 21 Jump Street, it kind of develops a little bit. Like, the goal of the entire movie and what's going on and who's involved type of thing, except for the main drug dealer.
I can agree with you that one of the negatives about the other guys is it is kind of a harder story to kind of follow because David Ershon or whatever, you try to figure out why he's a bad guy, but then it turns out that he's really not a bad guy. It's kind of hard to follow, whatever. But even that explosion part, even if you weren't keeping up with it, the part that happened after that.
Where they're on the ground?
Yeah, you got to laugh at that.
I mean, it's funny. I'm not taking away from the comedy factor of it, but just if you look at it as a movie rather than a comedy movie, it's kind of, it's rough around the edges.
How would you take, like, whenever you're going into these movies, you're not going in like, oh, I'm so into the story.
Yeah.
I mean you want the, like, even if it was random as like, it's like, you kind of, that's funny. I'm glad they put that in there because that's hilarious.
Yeah, I can see that. But also, here's also what I'll say about 21 Jump Street. Like, that movie was in the era of movies where there was so much leeway with what you could do. Well, the other guys was too and everything like that. But I feel like 21 Jump Street really took more advantage of that fact of like being able to push the envelope with what you can say, what you can do, and everything like that.
Yeah.
And the other guys, it was a lot of, like whenever he's given the wooden gun and stuff like that, it's like, yeah, it's funny, it's goofy, but like, it's whatever type of thing. But there's not I won't say a single thing, but like you'd be hard pressed to find something like to that extreme in 21 Jump Street where it's like, yeah, whatever. Like every 5 minutes at most in 21 Jump Street, you're experiencing something new that's like, damn, that was funny.
But see, even before like the wooden gun, how did he get the wooden gun? Sat there and said,
because he did a desk pop.
Yeah, a desk pop.
I know.
That part was hilarious.
That is funny. I mean, yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you just say it like it's all nonchalant, but every it's the humor in it is so much more of a, like I was saying earlier, it's like, it doesn't seem like it was written. It's just like, oh yeah, desk pop. Just random.
So here's my question for you. Why does the captain have a wooden gun in his desk specifically for when people shoot their guns in the office and they're like, here, you take that? And who in their right mind at a police station in real life is gonna be like, give me your gun and slide them a mahogany pistol? No one's doing that.
But that goes into the sense of the movie. Is like,
I mean, yeah, it's a comedy movie.
These are the other guys. They're not supposed to be good. They're not supposed to be, oh yeah, you up, here's a wooden gun that you get with your Prius.
Yeah, okay. I mean, and also, the 21 Jump Street, the other characters in it have a lot more involvement into the entire story. Like, you have, like, Rob Riggle's in both of them, and Rob Riggle is a legend.
Dude, He's
hilarious. Do you know he was a Marine?
No, I did not know that.
Yeah, he was in the armed forces somehow. I'm pretty sure he was a Marine.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Kind of changed my perspective on him a little bit because I thought he was just kind of an idiot, like, comedy guy.
Yeah.
And then I heard, I read that he was a Marine or whatever, and I was like, that makes him a lot cooler.
Yeah, you can do that and then go into comedy and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but the characters in 21 Jump Street have a lot more to play into the story than the characters in the other guys. Like, who is the main villain in the other guys?
I really couldn't even tell you his name. It was just like a lot of random ass people.
Exactly. Because they didn't have like obviously there's a main villain, but they all kind of jump back and forth, and the storylines get thrown this one that way and everything, and you're kind of trying to follow along, and everything's kind of just like, they go to one part and then it's way over here and then they go back. And 21 Jump Street, it's like boom, 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 boom. Linear. Ups and downs, zigzags or whatever, but you're still averaging that straight line to the end of the movie. And you know what's going on and everything.
Yeah.
And like in the other guys, Mark Wahlberg, Will Ferrell. There's some other characters in there. They add some.
Oh, but it's just other characters.
Yeah.
You got Michael Keaton, The Rock, Samuel L. Jackson.
You can't even say The Rock and Samuel Jackson.
They were in the first like 20, 30 minutes of the movie.
No, it wasn't that much. It was like first 10 minutes.
No, probably 20.
No.
Yeah, because they go through the whole first chase, and then they go to the office where they're all
so then you're just wasting your entire time like focusing on these two guys.
Bro, that's how you get the title The Other Guys.
All right.
They became an iconic part of the movie just because they were like you said, they're the badasses killing it or arresting everybody. They're the police, whatever.
Yeah.
And then.
But who on that supporting cast is coming close to Ice Cube?
Really?
Infiltrate the dealers, find the suppliers.
Bro,
Ice Cube in this movie with his beautiful Bermuda Triangle on his fucking cheek. Dude.
He was, but you could tell I know he's been an actor in a lot of movies, but he's not the best actor.
Dude, he was so good in 21. You got to rewatch it. Dude, it was so good in 21 Jump Street. Dude, he is awesome.
I'm not saying he's bad. He is awesome.
He's better than any other of the other supporting characters in the other guys. I'll say
better than The Rock?
Yeah.
Better
in that movie.
Better than Samuel L. Jackson.
In that movie.
Better than both of those guys.
I'm not saying as a career. I mean, debatable. But as movies wise, I'm not saying like across all movies he's doing better than everybody else in that cast. I'm saying supporting cast for movie. Ice Cube, you put him against anybody else in that supporting cast, he was way better at delivering. Is he really
supporting though?
Yeah, he's supporting.
I don't know if that's really supporting.
It is supporting because you have, Schmidt and Channing Tatum's character. They're the main characters. Well, everybody else is supporting. Yeah, that's how it goes. Just like you have Michael Keaton as their captain. He was in a lot of the movie, but he's supporting actor.
Okay.
If you're not a main character, you're a supporting character.
Okay.
And Ice Cube was better as a supporting character than Michael Keaton, than Rob Riggle in that movie, than anybody else in that movie. He was so good. Know.
The guy that played, I mean, I know he's not a big name, but the guy that played that David Ershon guy, he was pretty good. He was funny.
He's fine.
I mean, he not like
he's been in a lot of movies.
I mean, not like Ice Cube because I mean, you really can't compare Ice Cube to like if you're not going to compare him to like The Rock or who are you going to compare him to? But
even if you compare him to The Rock or Samuel L. Jackson in that specific movie, I mean, they were in 10 minutes, 15 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, compared to Ice Cube's. Yeah.
I mean, he was probably in roughly the same amount. He might have been a little bit more.
Yeah, probably a little more.
But still, he was better. 100%.
I feel like
infiltrate the dealers, find the supplier.
But I feel like what The Rock and Samuel L. Jackson bring to the movie is a lot of what made the movie, as like what made them the other guys.
I mean, yeah, it gives you the fucking title.
Well, but that's what
they didn't do for the movie. The only thing they did was like set a precedent, and all these other people were trying to fill their spot. You could have excluded that first portion of the movie and just started whenever they were like, the main people are dead. Who's going to fill their shoes? And everyone would have been like, okay, I know where this is going now. People are trying to fill the shoes.
You could have done the same thing. You could have done the same thing without Ice Cube.
No, you couldn't.
Yes, you could have.
No, you couldn't.
Oh, the captain could have been anybody.
Yeah, but I'm saying with it being Ice Cube and how good he was in it, that's what made it better than all the other people.
But that's what Samuel L. Jackson and The Rock, what makes it such like, oh, these are the... Because what do you think of whenever you think of The Rock and Samuel L. Jackson? Oh, legends. Yeah. So that's what makes the movie even better is because, like, oh, they're legends in whatever their selves, and they die.
But do you know what I'm saying, though? Like, I'm not saying you could put anybody else in those shoes and it would be the exact same movie. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you could, hit the S key, split that movie at the, on their death scene whenever they're at the funeral. You could start it at the funeral, and whenever they get back and everything, and they're like, the hot shots are dead. Who's going to fill their spots? And everybody would have been on the same roughly page. Now, obviously, I know that that's not 100% accurate because they do add some to the movie. I'm just saying I don't think that they added enough to make it a strong argument against Ice Cube and what his contribution was.
I mean, but what really was his contribution other than being a captain?
What do you mean? That's his part. That's what he does.
So you're saying
Michael Keaton's contribution?
No, but that's what I'm saying. I'm saying what compares to Michael Keaton? If you compare Ice Cube to Michael Keaton, what's the difference?
Funniest line? What's the funniest line, action scene, whatever in Michael Keaton?
I mean, probably not much. I mean, nothing just crazy.
Maybe whenever he keeps quoting the whatever that band is, and they're like, "Oh, you're talking about that?" He's like, "No, I don't know what the f- you're talking about." And that running joke or whatever.
Yeah,
dude, Ice Cube has so many of those.
Like what? Other than that one.
Whenever his first entrance, whenever he's just like, "Y'all motherfuckers comfortable?" And then Schmidt is like, "Yeah." He's like, "Stand your motherfucking asses up when I talk to you." Like, even me telling it is funny. And I'm not doing it any justice compared to Ice Cube and everything like that. And then, like, dude, there's just so many parts. And, like, you just want to compare captains. Ice Cube.
Oh, yeah, I mean, yeah, you can't.
And with how similar these movies are, maybe you can't compare captains. Maybe you could compare captains. Maybe you could compare main characters. Maybe you could compare villains. Okay.
I mean, if you want to compare that.
Okay. Captains, I win.
Oh,
Villains, you don't even know who the they were. I win.
The same villain that's in yours is in the other guys.
No.
Yeah.
No. The villain is Rob Riggle.
Exactly.
Rob Riggle's the villain in the other guys?
No, I'm saying, but he's in the other guys.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying like the main nemesis to the cop force, to the city. You don't even remember. Neither do I, honestly. Yeah. That's how shitty they were.
No, it's not shitty.
I win on that. And so that's 2 out of 3. We don't even got to discuss characters. I win 100%.
Okay, say your villain is better. I don't know how that quotes that as.
Okay, when you can remember one of them and you don't remember the other one, yeah, that one's better.
But it's different because the other guy's enemy is it's not like one specific person. It's like an organization.
I know, that's what I'm saying. It's like so all over the place. You can't even pinpoint one person or anything. It's just like they all fucking suck.
Bro, but if you want to compare main characters,
yeah, I do.
That's a hard. What? Okay, compare Will Ferrell to Channing Tatum.
No, we can't do that.
Okay,
you got to compare comedic actors originally versus breaking into the
Mark
industry.
Wahlberg versus Channing Tatum.
Yeah, Channing Tatum. A lot funnier than Mark Wahlberg in that movie.
Mark
what
Wahlberg.
What does Mark Wahlberg got? I'm a peacock, let me fly, and then he hits on Will Ferrell's wife the whole time. That's what he's got. What else has he got?
Like the stuff that he says is just funny in the movie.
How many times did you quote Channing Tatum's you science when he wrote 4s all over the board? I know.
Never.
We quoted that forever.
Oh, you science?
Yeah.
That's supposed to be funny?
Yeah.
How?
Because what do you mean how? That was an iconic line from that movie.
You science?
Yeah, when he writes 4s.
I haven't heard that quote since I watched the movie back whenever it came out.
You sorry sack of shit.
I promise on the ship everything.
No.
It might have been something between somebody. I have never quoted that movie as you science.
But just Channing Tatum, I think Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill worked a lot better than Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell did. I'm not saying that Will and Mark were bad working together, but just like chemistry and like just falling into each other a little bit, I think Jonah Hill and Channing Tatum did a lot better of getting into their characters and being able to like bounce off of each other a lot better. It felt like Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg were like they were like kind of magnets, but opposing at times, to where like sometimes their polarities would get flipped to where it was like, yeah, we're vibing, like we're doing this and everything, and then like the next scene, it's kind of like, yeah, it's kind of working. We want to come together and like bounce off of each other and everything, but it's just not. There's something in the middle.
But that's what gives you really good, just in the movie, character relateness, because like whenever you take Mark Wahlberg whenever he thinks he's a badass and he shoots Derek Jeter in the leg or whatever. Yeah. He's supposed to be like up there, but Will Ferrell is just a desk guy. Like he's just there to be at the desk, not supposed to be in the field, everything. So you get those two butting heads, kind of different personalities, and it works for the movie because that's what makes the movie so good. Is that like you have this really weird guy and the guy that thinks he's like a head honcho. So it's like they're trying to figure out how it works, but they towards the end, they kind of figure it out. But like that's what makes the movie so good.
I will say that one of my most favorite quotes out of all movies was when they're talking about tunas and the lion and everything like that. And it's just like, if I was a tuna, I'd hunt you. Exactly. I'd grow legs and climb out of the sea to hunt you and your lion family.
Just like that interaction too, right there. Just like that, how they're going back and forth, saying just stupid shit like that.
But see, that's also going back to one of my earlier points. Like leading up to that moment, you didn't see that from Will Ferrell. And even after that moment, you didn't see that until after he's kind of like given back his wooden gun and taken back his real one, and they're going to fight the final boss of the movie or whatever. Like, you didn't see that.
Gator needs his gat, you punk ass.
I know, that's what I'm saying. That like around that time period, you didn't see it, but like that was one of those moments where it was like extremely hilarious and like undoubtedly funny, but it was kind of odd for like the characters they were talking about, because the characters that they developed, Will Ferrell's character wouldn't have been that like adversary of like, you know, I'm not saying it was bad. I'm just saying it was like out of place in a way for the movie.
But I don't think, because it shows how he is a head honcho like Mark Wahlberg. Like, he is a badass. But like in the whole movie, it makes him think like, oh, he's a computer geek. He's nothing. Like, he's just a regular guy. But then that shows you like, oh, he was a fucking pimp. He was like hard as shit and everything.
Yeah.
So it makes you see like, oh, there is a side of him that's like, oh, you, I can do anything.
It does kind of bridge the gap between them a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not doubting that. And I'm not saying that, yeah, okay.
Yeah, it adds to the story a lot more than like whenever they're sitting there after the explosion, like, yeah, I used to do this, and it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I could see that. I'll retract.
But even I don't even know what do you remember what the girl's name is in real life and the other guys that Will Ferrell's married to?
Oh,
But even all that too, like how he goes back to his ex girlfriend's house,
Christina.
Yeah, she's all in love with
Christina. Say my name's right.
Say my wife's name right.
And they're chasing them at the end. They're like 5 miles away in the dark.
Go. See, just like that, and like the whole, he was like, "Oh, this can't be your wife." Like, he's sitting here.
That's a good running joke, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, all of it is like.
I mean, you could say that you could pick out moments in 21 Jump Street just like that too. Like whenever they're fingering each other's mouths, trying to get each other to throw up. That's hilarious.
That is hilarious.
Yeah,
but
like whenever they're in the fight in the house, and he's like, "When did I get stabbed?" That's awesome. You know, that's funny too.
It is. I mean, like, I'm not discounting 21 Jump Street being funny, but I'm just saying, like, to my earlier statement, it's like it was trying really hard to be funny.
Yeah, it's a fucking comedy.
Well, I know, but like you could tell that.
I'd rather have a movie try real hard and succeed than not try at all.
Well, but it's nice whenever people aren't trying at all, but it's funny.
But no, they were trying.
I mean, but you really can't tell that. Like, you can't tell me that you saw Will Ferrell and like he was trying.
I can see Mark Wahlberg trying. I don't know. You can definitely see it in Mark Wahlberg.
Even that scene whenever like they're talking about evidence, and then Will Ferrell keeps turning around and singing that song, that sad ass song. And it's just so natural. It's just like you would walk into a bar and see that happen.
Yeah, it's natural for Will Ferrell, but it's not natural for Mark Wahlberg, and that's what I'm saying.
But even like whenever he goes into the ballet studio and he's trying to get back his wife or girlfriend, and like he's doing that, like, I could do that, and he just he starts dancing.
Yeah.
See that, like that's it just doesn't seem like it was.
What about in 21 Jump Street? Whenever they're trying to get they're getting chased by the biker gang, and they're like waiting for these gasoline trucks to blow up, and then finally the chicken coop is the one that blows up. Yeah. That's hilarious. Like, it's not as funny rewatching that because you know it's coming, but the first time we watched it, it was pretty funny.
Well, even like the part where have the Prius, and you're like, oh, there's my Prius, and the homeless people like, we will have sex in your Prius again. A soup kitchen or whatever the it's called.
Yeah. It does have some good moments.
It is hard. It's hard because like 21 Jump Street, like we said earlier, was kind of based more off of a TV show that kind of had some leading people in it. Like Johnny Depp was in it. I know that he was in it
for a split second.
Justice for Johnny Depp.
You're gonna get political? I'm
just kidding. 4
episodes in, you're gonna,
Wait a minute. But yeah, like you have, I really don't know who else is in it, but Johnny Depp is. I mean, it's Johnny Depp. You can't.
But he was only in it for a split second, so
I know. But it's like the other guys was just kind of made. It was like just
That's my problem with it. It was just kind of it felt like it was just kind of made.
No,
it felt like me and you, like, not. I mean, we would be able to come up with that type of thing. But it felt like the directors just like we're sitting around hanging out, and oh, it'd be hilarious if hobos had a gangbang and a Prius. It'd be hilarious if we gave the guy a wooden gun.
Exactly.
And stuff like that. But 21 Jump Street felt so much more of an actual movie storyline, to where you knew what was happening, you knew what the goal was, and you knew the characters, but at the same time you were still getting all those comedic aspects of it that were making you enjoy the movie even more.
I feel like the randomness of the other guys contributes a lot to the humor, because a lot of what happens, like how they wake up without fucking shoes, and I don't know where they were going, but they were like, they took my shoes again. Like,
it's whenever they get kidnapped by the enemies, and their
Prius is like on the train moving, or like, what's with these guys taking shoes or whatever. I think the randomness of it is a lot. It contributes a lot to what the whole movie and the comedic aspect of it compared to 21, where it's like, oh yeah, we have these two guys. It's a funny movie. We know they're gonna come out in the end. It's just kind of
the same for the other guys.
Not really.
We have these two guys. We know that they're gonna defeat everybody. We know that they're gonna be
not
all right.
really. Like, you don't know that. I mean,
everybody knew that going in.
No.
Just like 21 Jump Street, everyone was like, yeah, we know how this ends. But that's what's great about a comedy movie, is that even though you know probably how it's going to end, you still stick around and you watch it and you enjoy it.
But like, you can't throw out that argument like you knew that it was this, and this, and it was all linear. Because like you just said that every comedic movie's linear. You knew that was going to happen. So you can't throw out that like, oh, 21 Jump Street was a lot better because it just went, you knew this was happening and this was happening.
It helped progress the comedy in it because it was linear, and they didn't have to take the time to explain every situation that they were getting themselves into.
That's the beauty of the other guys, though, is because each scene, it like, even though like sometimes it might not be linear and you really don't know what's coming next, that's what makes it funny. Because like there could be, like you said, it could be a scene that's kind of funny, and then all of a sudden they're at a laundromat and they're walking up to an explosion, and then it's like the next scene is, oh yeah, back whenever I was in college, I had this girlfriend that was like the randomness and the like out of placeness of the other guys. I feel like contributes even its own comedic aspect of what makes it funny. Is like because like you said in 21 Jump Street, how everything was linear, you kind of know like, oh yeah, that's funny. Oh yeah, that's funny. Oh, I know you're about to go chase this guy. But like in the other guys, like you have the next scene where it's like they go to his ex-girlfriend or wife's house, and it's that whole scene, and they're talking about stuff, and then the motherfucker's running down the street.
Hey,
yeah, it's Christina. Yeah.
Have sex with my wife. I could see that. I don't know how the people are going to vote on this one, because I feel like, I don't know if people are very decisive about this.
It like kind of the other ones. It's like the other guys has, like Will Ferrell and Will Ferrell and Mark Wahlberg, but like 21 Jump Street was, I mean, I think it's like 2 years more recent, but it has more people that are not, I wouldn't say like our generation, but like more towards our generation of
younger crowd.
Yeah, younger crowd
comedy.
Like where they're dropping is that the one they're dropping condoms from the helicopter? Or is that the 22 Jump Street?
That's probably 22.
Oh yeah,
I just watched 21 and it's not in there.
Gotcha.
But yeah, and like even leading up to this, like in our past episodes, I feel like each episode that we've done so far, if you were given the option, you were like, yeah, I'm definitely going with that one. Like, depending on who you were as a person. But this one, I'll be honest, this one is like, I enjoy both of these movies really a lot. And so it's hard for me, and I bet it's hard for a lot of people to like actually pick one over the other. But if I had to pick, like if you were going to get rid of the other one, I'd have to take 21 Jump Street just because of its almost legendary status, just comedy film.
And I could see where you're coming from, because I really do think that it will one of these days be one of those that's kind of like talked about for a long time. But I feel like the other guys, man, it's like one of those that's an underdog kind of in the comedic scene. I will say, too, I think one of the bad things about the other guys is that it almost is a 3-hour movie, though. I think it's like 2.5 hours or something like that. It's a long movie.
Man, I don't remember it being that long.
It's a long movie. I think it is. I'm pretty sure because I think I Googled it one time. And I was like, how long is this movie? Yeah. But yeah, like how long it is and kind of going into how just kind of you really, some of the stuff is just kind of over the top. Like if you were a cop and listening to it, you'd be like, oh my God, like that's crazy. But like if you're just a viewer, it's kind of over your head, but like you kind of understand most of it. But I mean, just those two characters though, Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell, just, I mean, I feel like it's such an underrated movie in a comedy aspect because there's so many. It's like every other scene in that movie is just funny. It's just like, it doesn't matter what it is. It's just funny. Even like the sad.
You can say the same thing about 21 Jump Street.
But even the sad moments in that it's fucking hilarious.
It's the same for 21 Jump Street. Like after they break up like with each other, like, you know, and they get fired and everything like that they're doing, like he goes back to being a bike cop and stuff like that. Like they have funny stuff throughout that, just like they do with the other guys.
I know, but I'm saying like.
But that just speaks to how similar of a movies they are. Like I don't think you could pick two more similar movies.
Yeah, these are like, pretty because you have sequels. Obviously two guys, two guys, two guys that are cops trying to make a name for themselves.
Oh, you want to see what the people voted for?
Let's do it. So we had a poll, obviously.
That's how the show goes, yeah. What were the percentages?
To my sadness.
Oh, yeah. That is what I'm talking about.
Sadness and regret that y'all chose 21 Jump Street.
Hey, don't blame them, dude. I mean, they did. They were the ones.
Yeah, they chose it, y'all. Motherfucker.
What were the percentages?
It was 66% 21 Jump Street to 34% other guys.
Wow. It's pretty big.
That is a pretty big percentage.
Big margin
jump.
like last time.
It really was.
I thought it was going to be closer than that.
I think it goes more into what we were saying is just more people, especially the polls that we're taking are more of our age gap kind of.
Yeah, that's true.
To where it's like,
maybe not many of them enjoyed the other guys as much as.
Because, I mean, the other guy, I mean, even though 21 Jump Street came out in 2012, the other guys came out in 2010. I mean, it's not a crazy year jump difference, but.
Like, when I think back, I put them in the same, like, time period. Yeah. Like, in my memory bank.
Yeah. But, like, to think we were in.
I don't know.
I mean, I think we were in, like, 6th grade compared.
Were we?
When 2010, what is that?
Oh yeah, maybe
13 years ago.
Maybe
yeah, something like that.
6th grade versus 8th grade.
Yeah, 6th versus 8. Where you're in that period where it's like you kind of graduating into like from 6th grade, you're kind of like, oh, I can't watch that, or something like that. And then in 8th grade, you're like, oh, bro, I can watch anything.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, I could do it. I don't care.
Kind of go through a Will Ferrell moment where you start out as a little. And then you kind of move on. And
exactly. You're like Gator needs his gat.
Yeah. Gator needs his gat, you punk ass. Yeah. That might be the most iconic line out of both of our movies. Oh, and just for that, I mean.
Even the Peacock one, too. Like the Peacock, you got to let me fly. That's a big one,
Those are some heavy hitters coming from the other guy's side.
That's what I like going into this. I knew the other guys. Just even for our friend group, those two kind of quotes and all that kind of stuff were kind of big.
Yeah.
But like the one that you said about science, I don't remember that at all.
Really?
I really don't.
That's a pretty big one.
I'm really not saying like just because we're debating, because I mean, I love 21 Jump Street. I really don't remember doing that. Do you remember the scene where he's high off of the drugs and they're going through their trip and he draws like a bunch of different colored 4s all over the whiteboard and he's like, the flux capacitor does all the and then he turns around and it's just nothing but 4s behind him. He's like, drops the marker. He's like, you science. And he walks out. I don't remember that.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, if you like this video, please like, subscribe. But really, do whatever the hell you want to do.
Yeah, dude, we're chill ass dudes. Just do whatever you want. We're doing this for fun. I mean, obviously, we want this to go somewhere, but like,
yeah, I feel weird calling ourselves chill ass dudes. I feel like that's a title that should be bestowed upon us from an outside source.
That really should.
So we should just say we're dudes. We're aspiring chill asses.
Yeah, we're aspiring chill asses.
Yeah.
No, but for real, like, you know, more feedback from y'all, like we say in the other ones, negative, positive, whatever you want to say, helps a lot.
A big one is like future movies.
Yeah.
Future characters, future TV shows. Like, it may seem like it's easy to come up with these, but I mean, it is relatively easy in its infancy.
Like, this was a good one. Yeah, this was a good one.
Yeah. But it's going to start getting harder, and we're definitely going to start needing new ideas, fresh ideas, and perspectives coming in.
Even like if it comes from y'all kind of saying whatever y'all want from us, or even us posting more like, should we do this or getting y'all's response more of throughout the week of stuff that we should do and everything. But yeah,
we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, this is an exciting trip because we're just two dudes just
aspiring chill asses,
aspiring chill asses
on the podcast road, trying to bust in.
Exactly, trying to bust anywhere we can. You know, I don't even care where it is.
Yeah, on this table right here. I don't care, dog. No, but you know, the people definitely had my back this go around, and you know. What can I say? I'm on a winning streak, and hopefully I can keep it going.
You know what? Your cycle's going to get broken next week.
Well, I knew mine was better the entire time.